Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today with the summary and analysis of probably the most stunning and beautiful chapter of Modulo so far for a multitude of reasons. And I'm talking about, of course, chapter 15. But before getting started, please don't forget to follow me on my social media so you wouldn't miss any of my content. I'm super active on every single one of them. The links are going to be in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post videos every week and also short content like throughout the week. Now, with nothing else to add, let's begin the chapter. In the previous chapter, we saw Maru and Tsurugi about to start fighting while Yuka's plane leaves to take her to Shinjuku, where her duel is gonna take place. And in this chapter, we start with her. At this point, Yuka's tumor has advanced so much that she is struggling to even stand or even see. Mino offers her a wheelchair and he helps her to the plane. Once there, she starts thinking about her life as Tsurugi's younger sister and how it really wasn't the way she thought it was supposed to be. You know, how an older brother is supposed to go easy on you, let you win sometimes, let you get snacks and candy first, things like that. Things that Tsurugi never really did for her. She thinks that if she were to be born again, she would like to be the older sister this time. She smiles at the memories of Tsurugi, to which Mino, confused and kind of worried about her, tries to get her attention. And if the previous panel were not enough for you to see how bad Yuka's situation is or how bad her condition has gotten, this should be enough. Yuka is almost completely blind, and not only that, but she is also hallucinating, believing that Mino is actually her brother. She tells him that she asked him not to come with her to the duel, and she also complains at how bad Tsurugi is at reading women. A very simple and heartwarming conversation for someone that, might die that day. Mino gets emotional and takes her hand, and he is unable to correct her on her mistake and simply says, "I am so sorry." We then get a flashback from the scene we saw a couple of chapters ago of Tsurugi hurt but holding Yuka's hand as she cries. And it turns out that one of Yuka's friends had been possessed and Tsurugi had gone to help her sister. Yuka mentions that while she wouldn't have died, whether Tsurugi had helped her or not, her friend would have probably died without him there. So Yuka thinks about how she, one way or another, is always relying on Tsurugi's kindness. Then we get a change of scene here, and now we have Dabura's point of view before the battle starts. Before him, an old man that claims to be Ui Ui presents himself along with 3 small kids all dressed the same. The old man says that he would like to express his gratitude to Dabura, and the warriors confused for this. So Ui Ui explains to him that almost 70 years ago, a surge of immense power shocked the country of Japan, and we get an aerial view of Shinjuku with 2 immense craters. This is the area of the Shinjuku showdown where Sukuna fought everybody. Ui Ui says that after that came a long period of peace that made people forget about the events and what true power and strength really is. What he wants for those kids that accompany him is to learn about the power and the violence that comes with it, as well as the true terror that curses truly represent. And he believes that Dabura can teach them that. Dabura responds that he won't be able to do any of that without an opponent, and even if he gets one, even with the opponent that he's supposed to get for that duel, he doesn't really believe they'll last long enough against him for him to really show anything. Ui Ui, however, assures him that he will be satisfied with his battle and that it would also ease his loneliness. We go back to Yuka, and the moment she jumps off the plane, or the moment she's actually thrown off the freaking plane as Mino cries. Yuka, however, is smiling and changing her mind in that moment from what she said at the beginning. Now she says that if she gets to be born again, she would like to be the younger sister once more, but not anybody's younger sister. She wants to be Tsurugi's younger sister again. She closes her eyes and we get to see some tears in this beautiful panel. And as she falls into the area of the fight, which is the same area where the Shinjuku showdown took place, she apologizes to Dabura and summons Mahoraga. And Yuka uses Mahoraga's shadow to hide right before the general gets to hit her. So no, Yuka hasn't tamed Mahoraga yet. Reacting immediately, Dabura attacks the Shikigami with a curse technique that is literally blanked in light, and this marks the first time in history Mahoraga starts adapting to an extraterrestrial curse technique. Oh my god, I really wanted to talk about this chapter because it's so good and it's so beautiful, and there's so much to say about the panels alone, how the panels work together to set up the mood of the entire thing, and how they also tell like a story on their own that it's not spoken of in the chapter itself. So let's begin the analysis for this. Starting, of course, with Yuka and how she smiles despite her condition. There's something that she told Cross at the very beginning of the manga with respect of what's happening to her, of her problem or her tumor. And it's that when Cross asked her, like, why bring me into this? And it's not only the fact that she says, I didn't want to be alone. She also says that she doesn't want any pity from anybody. And that is what this chapter reflects. We as readers obviously can't help but feel sad because we know that she's sick, we know that she's dying, and on top of that we know that she is the one that is going into this fight, and yet the chapter itself is trying to take you from it like to a different path by the way they're presenting Yuka to you. It lets you know how far gone she is because of what's happening to her, yes. But the central theme of all of her are the good memories with her brother and hope, especially hope. And that's with the fact that she's thinking, like, if I get to have another chance, I want to be the older sister next time. Yuka is not thinking about the fact that she is going to die either from what it's happening to her or the fight that she is going to have. She's not thinking about this whole idea that Cross was telling to her in that chapter of this was stolen from you. She is thinking about the possibility of another chance, and also the possibility of being the older sister in that other chance. The chapter is changing the focus of death and dread to a nostalgic and bittersweet feeling. And we get these little flashbacks and panels of her smile and the nostalgia in her eyes. And Mino represents us, the reader, because he's crying there. But at the same time, he's like, okay, no, let's keep with this, with her hallucination of the fact that you think I am your brother, so I'm not gonna tell you I'm not your brother. I'm just gonna go with it. And also the mentality of Yuka wanting to be an older sister comes from a very selfless and nurturing perspective. Going back to those particular panels of her memories with Tsurugi, Yuka says, I've spent 16 years finding out what a younger sibling would want. And then we see, of course, how Tsurugi never went easy on her and never let her win, nothing. She wants to be the older sister to change that. She doesn't want to be the older sister to do the same thing that Tsurugi did to her. She wants to do it. She wants to be the older sister now so she can be the nurturing type of older sibling. The one that helps the younger, the one that teaches the younger one. The one that just makes everything easier for the younger sibling. And then after that, we get the different perspective and we go with Dabura and Ui Ui. Like on one side, we talk about how Yuka, wants to make things easier for the younger ones. And then we have Ui Ui, who wants those kids that are with him to experience what he experienced when he was a child. The terror, the fear, the violence, that comes with power and all the things that he saw when they were fighting Sukuna, and the fact that he almost died to Sukuna as well, because he thinks it's necessary. And where do you think he got all those ideas? Remember that at the end of the day, he had an older sister, and it wasn't a very good type of older sister. And then it's on this same scene that we go back to the loneliness that comes with great power. It's clearly something that has been with Dabura for a long time, but it's also the fact that he seems to have accepted that that is his destiny, and that's how things are gonna be for him, and that all that there is just fighting. He has a small smile in his face when Ui Ui presents himself to him. And that changes after Ui Ui tells him why he is there, why he wants to express his gratitude. Because at the end of the day, Ui Ui is reducing Dabura to his power only. So in the next panel, he has this empty look in his eyes, saying that whoever will face him probably won't even last long enough for him to do anything. And this is where we see Yuka's plane flying above them, as Ui Ui, tells him that no, maybe you're gonna be very satisfied with this battle. I think you're gonna be very satisfied with this battle. So to me, the panels are telling you that it's Yuka the one that's gonna help him with, teaching him kind of like what Yuji did for Sukuna at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, with respect of the plane itself and where it's flying, a lot of people were posting photos of the map of Shinjuku, trying to figure out where the plane was going, like what direction, north or south, because of how symbolic that is in Jujutsu Kaisen. I will show you the map, but Yuka tells you where her plane is going. Like, you don't need to see a map. She tells you. If I get to be reborn, I'd like to be the little sister again. And I'd like my older brother to be. And we get the panel with Tsurugi. That is the answer of where the plane is going. If you want to start anew, head north. If you want to return to your old self, head south. So obviously, by saying that she wants to be Tsurugi's younger sister once more, she is saying that she wants to return to her old self. Either way, if you still need a visual confirmation, here it is. Okay, so here is a view. Please ignore everything that's marked. When I went there, I had to mark everything or I was gonna get lost. We are gonna use the image of Yuka falling as a reference. So you get to see a little bit of this area, which is the Shinjuku Goen National Garden. This right here is the station, and it's completely covered in the manga by, like, I guess lights. I don't know what they are, but they're covered. But up there, you get to see this street. Like, you know how it goes completely down to, like, where the station goes? This is the path. This is how it goes. You can kind of see it where Yuka is falling as well. You get to see this little street that has a little bit of an angle here. The other area that is covered, that it's like up here on this side, is the National Park of Shinjuku. So they cover that too. I guess it was kind of like for you not to know exactly where this happened. But yeah, the national park is covered. The gardens are covered too. The station, of course, is covered too. And then the craters are around this area. Like here is one and the other one is here. So yeah, that's the visual representation of the plane going south. They dropped Yuka. I was gonna say Rika. They dropped Yuka here, so the plane was going from north to south. So yeah, she is going south. Also, in case you want to know, this is the KFC where that famous scene between Gojo and Geto happens. It's this one right here. Just extra info if you ever want to go to Shinjuku. Pretty close to the station, and you can walk. Like you can walk to whatever you want to go. It's a walkable city. Anyways, let's continue. So once she falls from the plane, she summons Mahoraga, and we get to see the ritual, the beginning of the ritual. Just like Megumi did when he summoned it back in Shibuya, because again, Mahoraga is not been tamed. Yuka hides on Mahoraga's shadow as she falls, from the plane, but its shadow resembles an angel. We can see the wings. We can see the wings clearly down there. There was also an art from a different angle drawn by Yuji Iwasaki, who is the one that's in charge of the art of the manga. And on that one, we also get to see Mahoraga coming down like an angel. Like it looks like it's an angel coming down. So I do believe both Yuji and Gege wanted to go for this vibe for a very specific reason, of an angel coming down or falling down like the fallen one. That's what I think they were trying to portrayed in this, because at the end of the day, Mahoraga represents both life and death in this scenario, because we all know how the ritual works. To tame or purify the Shikigami, the user has to win a battle against it. If there are two people participating in the ritual, Mahoraga is gonna try to kill both parties, and it's not going to disappear, and it's not going to stop until it kills both or until somebody defeats it. That's how the Six Eyes user before Gojo died, and also the member of the Zenin clan that summoned it, none of them could defeat it, and both of them ended up dying. If Mahoraga is defeated under these conditions, with two people or more, the purification ritual is nullified, the Shikigami disappears, the user does not get to tame it, but they get to live. That's what happened in Shibuya. Megumi, was going to die anyway. He was bleeding out, and Shoko was on the other side of the city. So he had two options. He either let the twink torture him, or he die under his own terms, meaning much more faster and painless. And on top of that, he gets to take the twink with him. It's like I am dying, yes, but I'm taking you with me. That's why he said what he said. I'll be the first one to pass on, good luck. The thing here is that Sukuna interferes with the ritual, he saved the twink, and he also healed Megumi and prevented him from dying. And on top of that, he defeated Mahoraga. So in this case, if Mahoraga is able to defeat Dabura, that means humans win, yeah. And they get to, try to resolve the situation with the Romelians. But at the same time, even if Mahoraga wins the duel, even if Mahoraga wins against Dabura, Yuka is still part of the ritual and will have to come out of the shadows and fight Mahoraga. The only way this can be prevented is if Dabura defeats Mahoraga, which is not an option because we know why, and even if Dabura defeats Mahoraga, Yuka is gonna have to fight Dabura either way. The other option that this can be prevented, or Yuka from dying, is that a third party interferes, just like Sukuna did in Shibuya. And that's why a lot of people believe that Yuji is gonna show up soon. But again, that is only based on this chapter alone. And of course, I'm seeing the whole thing of Mahoraga from a Christian perspective. The whole angel thing and the thing with Dabura's curse technique too, the fact that it's blanked because it's supposed to be something that we humans cannot understand, and the fact that it's also light. So I'm seeing all that from a very Christian perspective, I guess, so I might be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong, bro. I want to be wrong so bad. On top of that, we also need to think about the ring. There's also the ring. Remember the reason why Yuta gave the ring to Yuka, and it's because he said that he was worried because she was a little bit reckless. By the time Yuka gets the ring, she's already 6 years old, which means that her curse technique had already manifested. Curse techniques manifest between the ages of 4 and 6. So Yuta already knew that she had the 10 shadows. So he already knew that she had Mahoraga. So maybe, just maybe, he was worried about the fact that, you know what, you're a little bit reckless, and I think you're gonna be a little bit reckless about summoning Mahoraga too. So here's the ring. This is my hopeful perspective, okay? This is me believing that Yuka is not gonna die, that she is gonna be saved either by Yuji, because it would be very beautiful, you know, Yuji coming to save her, just like Sukuna did with Megumi, but like for like the entirely opposite reasons. Sukuna did it for a very selfish reasons, while Yuji is gonna do it from a very selfless reasons. At the end of the day, he represents Evoditsawa. We talked about this in like, I believe 2 videos ago. He is also heavily inspired and represents Jisobura. You can see it in a lot of the things in him. You can see it more specifically on his domain. So it would be very beautiful if Yuji comes and does the same thing that Sukuna did for the entire opposite reason. It would be so beautiful. I want to believe that's the case, or I want to believe that for whatever reason, Tsurugi is gonna stop fighting Maru and it's gonna go like, I need to go save my sister. If he still has the ring, because we don't know if he still has a ring. I have no idea. They didn't say anything. Maybe he's gonna go save his sister with the ring, or maybe he gave the ring to her sister before she went into that battle. We don't know. We don't know. Again, this is just me being positive. The whole ring thing also proves that I was right with what I said in the first video, in my first video analysis. Because everybody was jumping to conclusions when it came to the ring. Everybody started to say that nothing has changed in the Jujutsu society. The ring was taken away from Yuka because man, and because she's not worthy, and because she patriarchy, right? That was what everybody was saying. Everybody was like going on with that, and I was like, wait, hold on. And don't get me wrong, the Jujutsu society is incredibly misogynistic. Yes. And if you still refuse to see that, like, I am so sorry, but you're not reading. You're not freaking reading this. We even get to see a little bit of that in Modulo. But in this case, in the case of the ring, that is not the reason. And that's what I said from the very beginning. It seems to me that they're giving the ring to Tsurugi because he's the one that's not strong enough. And yeah, he needed the ring because he doesn't have a curse technique, unlike his sister that has her curse technique, and it's the freaking 10 shadows at that. But anyways, that's it for today's video, guys. I think this chapter, along with chapter 3, are my favorite of Modulo so far. There's just something about them that I love, like all the symbolism, all the things that are not being said directly, but that are kind of being shown to you. Another thing, like, a lot of people are going out of their way and saying that with this, Akutami actually proves that he's a good writer, blah 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 blah. No, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But all that you are seeing here in Modulo, it wasn't Jujutsu Kaisen, it was in the main manga. The only difference, and I said this from the very beginning of this analysis too, it's the fact that Akutami is pretty much spoon-feeding you absolutely everything. So no, he's not proving that he is a good writer with this manga. He is proving that you absolutely need everything to be spoon-fed to you in order to understand it, because you refuse to engage with the source material in a deeper level than just fights. All that you see here was in Jujutsu Kaisen, and you did not want to see it because you were only reading leaks, because you were only reading for one character in specific, and because you were only entertained by the fights. And if there was not a fight, you did not care. I'm sorry for the rant. I had to say it. I just had to let it out because it bothers me a lot what people are saying, that, oh, if only Jujutsu Kaisen was written like this. It was written like that. It was in fact written like that. You just didn't want to see it. Anyways, thank you very much for watching all the way till the till this video. Thank you so much for enduring my freaking rant. You watching till the end of the video helps me so freaking much. Please don't forget to follow me on my social media if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe either. Activate the little bell so you can get notifications when I upload videos. I'm trying to upload on the same day. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.